How's it going, guys? Welcome to Hypnotic Highlights. In this series, I will be doing little highlight videos, tours, updates, stuff like that, one-of-the-mill non-tutorial videos. I've been AWOL for about 4 months. I just began my freshman year at college, and it's been going pretty well. You either go all in on one thing or you half-ass a bunch of things. But moving forward, I'm going to show y'all this majesty of a grow cabinet. This is entirely about the grow cabinet, this video. I'm going to show you guys how it works, what went into it, and how I achieve the conditions I can. Starting off with the most important piece of equipment, this is the actual reservoir for the coolant. I use RV antifreeze, or RV Marine antifreeze. And let me pop it open and show you guys what's going on. So got a little latch right there just to ensure it does stay closed. And that band comes over here just to ensure no spillage. This doesn't move or anything. So what we have is the actual freezer box of the mini fridge itself has been bent down into the trash can. Now this trash can has been cut to fit, but as it is watertight, it holds a good bit of RV antifreeze. Inside here, as you can see, we have one wire that leads to a pump that pumps through one of these tubes, as well as another wire leading to a pump that merely recirculates. All it does is keeps it moving to prevent ice buildup. Moving forward from this little wire, this is the temperature probe. So I have that attached to a little thermostat right here behind this ball of wires set to 17.5 degrees. I have found it is absolutely imperative to have a high concentration of coolant, as you want to achieve as low temperatures as possible, with exception of the plants and the output of the air, the temperature that is, because if it's putting out 30-degree air, you don't want that near your plants. But you want it to be a high enough concentration to avoid ice buildup, so you could achieve a low enough temperature so it doesn't lose that cooling effect through the night, because the reservoir will increase in temperature as the cooler runs. But moving forwards, the coolant gets pumped through one of these insulated tubes into the top part and flows out through here, right back inside. So it's a circulating system, and it's all controlled by this thermostat. And then the cooler is told to turn on by this autopilot 24-hour thermostat. It has a photocell right here that detects the light. And I have this light set to turn off about an hour after the lights to give the plants a more gradual cool down, so it's not such an extreme temperature change. But enough of that crap. I know you guys want to see what's going on inside and see how this all adds up. Starting off, I've got a little latch here, just make sure it stays shut as the insulation kind of pushes the doors out a little bit. So this is insulated with blue foam and then Mylar coated bubble wrap. Really good, really reflective, crazy insulative, works really well. So this is actually a 2-tiered grow cabinet, and through this I'm able to achieve 2 kind of different microclimates. While they all achieve the same nighttime temperature, this one maintains day temperatures about 5 degrees hotter than the lower one, which is pretty convenient if you're trying to grow more lowland leaning intermediates, such as this Rafflesiana biampularia by Hamata, which leans more lowland, but I will say it is quite toothy. Moving on, I get temperatures of around 85 degrees in here during the day, whereas I get temperatures of around 78 to 80 degrees in the bottom. Now, humidity is maintained by a 6-disc fogger down at the bottom, being stirred about by that little fan right there, and then moved up and recirculated by the duct fan that is inside this duct right here. As long as this duct fan is running, I should have pretty even ambient temperatures between these, but as soon as this thing turns off, the top tier can reach temperatures up to 90 degrees. Moving forwards, got temperature probes all around here. Got a little temperature probe for both the nighttime cooler and the daytime temperatures, just covered by a little plastic cup. Does the job well. And then we have the humidistat up at the top shelf due to the fact that the humidity is actually a good bit lower up here, to the point where I am anticipating a large change being made to this thing. The temperature and humidity are controlled by this Inkbird controller. Just all set up to the appropriate cords. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. When it gets too hot in here, I do have an exhaust fan to exhaust the hot air. The exit is right here. We have the fan pulling out the air from right here in this little duct fan, with our fresh air coming in through the side on top of all my plant supplies. Last but not least would be the pair of 300 watt full spectrum grow lights that I have above each shelf. These output about 30,000 lumens at about 18 inches below, according to my math. Granted, these are not name brand grow lights, they're just cheap ones off of Amazon, so it very well could be less or more depending on the chips. But that's what I'm working with. Now, this system is amazing, but I actually have come across some problems. So the biggest and most important problem with this grow cabinet would be that of the humidity. Due to the exhaust fan turning on and pulling in cool, dry air, it drops the humidity in this entire thing and sends it out of equilibrium. It worked pretty well when it was first put together due to the fact that the mist maker could actually keep up with that. But due to the mist maker also failing, it now has to run nearly all the time and creates a near 90% to 100% humidity down here, while barely being able to maintain a 78% humidity because of the conflict between the exhaust fan and the humidifier. There's also another problem that isn't necessarily a problem, but more of a hurdle that we have to deal with this cabinet, which is the actual recirculation of the air inside the enclosure. That's all fine and dandy, but this Honda Civic radiator, it condenses a lot of the water and, pulls a lot of the humidity out. So essentially, my mister and circulation system isn't up to par. So my overall change I'm going to make to this thing is I'm going to bolt both of these ballasts together, hang them on the top, remove the middle rack, and then just compress everything on the bottom with a good replacement of mister, cleaning it all out and throwing in some waterproof fans. By doing this, I hope I will be able to have a more consistent area of humidity, more consistent even airflow throughout the grow cabinet, as well as less of a battle between the mister and the exhaust fan up there. But that's all I have in mind right now. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can improve this setup, please do let me know. I'm always open to spreading and sharing knowledge regarding these amazing plants.